The verdict is in. It is utterly brutal. Media organizations from across the political spectrum and celebrities everywhere have rounded on Meghan Markle after the launch of With Love on Netflix.
Royal biographer Angela Levin is speaking out, and she's not holding back. Meghan Markle's highly publicised show is being labelled by Levin as desperately fake, painfully scripted, and completely detached from reality.
Perhaps most scathing was a conversation with Tina Brown, the founding editor of the Daily Beast and the former editor of Vanity Fair, in a chat with Janice Min, the founder of the Hollywood newsletter The Ankler, formerly of The Hollywood Reporter, who said it felt like With Love Meghan was filmed in a mental institution for wealthy women, and that Meghan's guests looked like they were in a hostage situation. Tina Brown added, "To me, I felt like it was a cultural fossil. She's always brilliant behind the curve, Meghan. You know what I mean? This was like the flashback to 2013, to the era of the TIG, her blog, which was sort of shout-outs for humanitarian causes and diptyque candles. It's almost as if she wanted to airbrush out everything that happened since and sort of go back to that moment in time." Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, is here. Angela, I mean, these are people who really would usually be behind Meghan Markle, but saying that it looked like she was in a mental institution for wealthy women and the guests there were in a hostage situation. Ouch.
Well, they were very nervous, the friends who were there, and they got tailing off, didn't they? And I think they had just had to do exactly the right thing, say a sentence, add that Meghan is absolutely wonderful, and that's it. But she also seemed very, very nervous to me because she was trying to get a lot of words in and tell them, what she was doing, make a list. And it was very, very nerve-wracking. I thought it wasn't a nice thing to have people round so that you give them some cake or some drink or anything like that. Can I just tell you why she didn't have it at her home?
Is this the final nail in the coffin of Meghan's media credibility? Let's break down what Angela Levin said and why so many people are agreeing with her. Angela Levin, royal expert and author of multiple bestsellers on the monarchy, has gone public with scathing criticism of Meghan Markle's latest media project.
Please.
Did you read that? Well, she said, because I worried.
This was in People magazine.
Yes, that it was very worrying that what she was doing, taking all the food from the garden, I thought to myself, that's ridiculous. So she said, our kitchen is where Mama, that's her, just cooks for the family, and with a crew of 80 plus people, that's the number of people who are doing this. That's a lot of people to have in your house. We're a close-knit family, and I love those moments, putting Lily down for a nap, having lunch together, having sacred time together at the end of the day. I know. I mean, it is.
Then why are you doing this? But yes. Angela, there is so much hilarious detail emerging. Look at this, that Netflix left in the edit, and it's people on social media who picked it up. Talk about salmonella wanting to happen. We're meant to believe this woman is some sort of maven in the kitchen. Look, raw chicken wings sitting on the tray in the fridge with absolutely no coating, no plate, and right next to her beloved crudités. I don't want to eat a thing at Meghan Markle's house. You'll go away with food poisoning.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's terrifying. In a way, that says to you, she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she's just trying to make the program, and that's it. And I think that it's very surprising how little she knows and how she thinks that it's very important. And also, what is it about the TIG? Nobody knew anything very much about it, just a few people. This is before she met Harry. And she's still going on, as she has done over this, that they've ruined her life by taking that away from her. Now, I can understand if you say that your lover has torn away and you haven't got him, her, anymore, but actually, not a tig, and it's only playing with food, putting bits of vegetable down and pouring hot water over it. I mean, this is not anything so wonderful, is it? It's very strange that she's obsessed with this, and we've seen over the 5 years that she won't give up in anything. So she goes on and on and on and on about this. It's absolutely extraordinary. And now she's got it going again. She feels that she can try and get to be me again. Well, she's me all the time, isn't she? I mean, it's just, it doesn't matter, she can cook as much as she likes, but to turn it into a drama.
Oh, I know.
Is absolutely ridiculous.
But I don't want her cooking for me. Okay, I don't want her cooking for me with those type of hygiene standards, Angela Levin. Now, look, what I've done is put together as well. I think it's really worth looking at a whole load of the big American critics who, fascinatingly, Angela, on the whole, used to be pretty pro Meghan. And how and why they've turned is deeply fascinating. First, this from Meghan McCain.
She described the show as manufactured emotion, with scenes that seem over-rehearsed and inauthentic. Levin claims the show tries to portray vulnerability.
It was so testy and rude, and it A, made me think like they're not as good of friends as they like to point out to be, and B, she's like very sensitive about not having a royal last name or title.
The article that came with it made a point to say like the music dropped and it got really tense in the room and all of this stuff. It's like her producers hate her. If there was like a vibe shift, or, we were doing a segment and maybe you were having a bad day and you said something weird to a guest or something happened, I would cut that out.
Thank you.
And you know what I mean?
Miranda.
I don't want you to come off as, allegedly. And also, by the way, I wanted to point out what they were doing when this whole conversation happened, because they're making food for their cumulative 300 kids. They're making cucumber sandwiches. Like it's high tea.
I don't even think my girls would eat that.
What children want to eat cucumber? I don't want to eat I want to go to Jack in the Box. I wouldn't want to eat a cucumber sandwich.
I have never once cooked with a cashmere cream sweater and sweater vest tied around my shirt. Like most of the time I'm in like sweatpants and a t-shirt or a tank top, because like I spill all over me and like things splatter, and I was just like, nothing about this. Like there weren't even like dirty dishes in there, and it didn't look like, even on the counter, it's like our counters are a mess. That's Ashley. She like comes to our house for everything. Like
you have toddlers, and so does she, and so do I, and the kids want to help you when you're cooking.
Yeah. So there's just, she's trying to be relatable, but it's like, nobody is going to cook anything or make anything in a cream cashmere sweater in a kitchen. And I don't know what she wants, because it's like, on one hand, she wants to be like relatable and America's like girl next door. And on the other hand, she's like, it's Sussex, bitch. Like, I don't understand. Like,
get out of my kitchen, Mindy Kaling.
Yes. And that is the key point, Angela. That was the moment that people will remember. There's nothing relatable about getting infuriated at one of your friends because they haven't used your proper last name, which you hadn't even told anyone you were claiming to use.
Yes, I mean, is just terrible, isn't it? But the feeling is that she wanted to say that she couldn't call her Markle anymore, because she's have to have a battle with the royal family, and she wants she wants them to make sure that she's going to win this next one. And that's why she's using
exactly. And it also means no matter what happens in the marriage to Harry, she is forever connected to the royal family. I think it was absolutely strategic what she was doing. I really do. Yeah. Now, Bethany Frankel.
Do that otherwise, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Bethany Frankel is a really interesting one, Angela, because she is someone who actually wants to help Meghan. She's a very successful former contestant on The Apprentice in the US, became a cast member of The Real Housewives, and she's just watching what Meghan's doing, a bit like Tina Brown, and just like, oh God, this is all so wrong.
When the frustration comes in, it's just like, please let me advise you. Please, I would do anything to just advise her. Like, it's just, you're watching something, you're like, why'd you do that? No, go that way. It's like, this is the person. It feels like the woman the last girl in the murder movie, the last girl that like, no, don't go that way. Go there. He's over there. Like, I'm like, no, why are you going that way? Go this way. No, go that way. We're like in a corn maze. And I'm like, just why are you making all the wrong turns? Please. Most people don't have these opportunities. Like most people, they're in rare air. It's like the pot of gold is right there. Just, please, why do you do, they go like this and the pot of gold like is nowhere to be found. It's frustration. We don't understand. We're just like, stop. Help me help you. Why did you do it this way?
But ends up delivering vanity. Levin isn't alone in this view. Critics and even some fans have noticed the overly polished tone of Meghan's show.
The problem is, Angela, Meghan Markle would never listen to someone, even someone really talented like Bethany Frankel. That's always been her problem. She ignores good advice from people who are trying to help her. She ignores it.
Well, she thinks she knows much better. That's the thing. It's not just she ignores it. She just feels, I know much better, so I don't need it. But of course, it's absolutely wrong. And I don't think she'd listen to someone say, look, step back, and let's look at all the detail. I mean, apparently she's saying how happy she is that it's been welcomed so much, this series. But instead of saying, well, I realize I made a bit of a mess of this and that, I'm really going to work on that bit and so build it up. But she says the whole thing has been wonderful and she's very, very good. It's very, very strange.
It is indeed. Now, I'm a big fan of S.E. Cupp, and her analysis with James O'Keefe was equally fascinating, Angela.
She is so consumed by an obsession with presenting this perfect package that she misses the best opportunity she was ever gonna get to look normal and authentic.
She was chopping with a knife like this. She had a paring knife and she was struggling to chop some garlic. Yes. And your little fingers and it was like mitsy bitsy. It was like, I was like, now maybe not everyone's going to see that because I'm a chef, so I'm going to notice that more. Yeah. But when you look at it, it's like you can see almost the struggle. Like, where's the culinary producer? Like, hey, Meghan, this won't read well on camera. Let's do the same recipe, but let's do it this way. We just need you to boil a pot of water, and it'll look like you kind of know what you're doing then.
You know what it's giving? We've all seen this because we watch a lot of Bravo. It's giving the new housewife who just moved into the big house that they could never afford, and they don't know how anything works in the house.
Yeah.
But again, Angela, it was this opportunity lost. She had this opportunity to show to the world, yep, I can be relatable, and quite the opposite happened.
Yes. But also she didn't wait until she had the things in the shops so she could cook with something that actually could be sold. So people would have a bit more of interest to think, oh, well, let's try it anyway. But to absolutely rush in without anything that actually will be there for people to try out for themselves. I mean, she loses an awful lot, doesn't she?
She really does. Sometimes, Angela, though, we just have to laugh at her ridiculousness. I'm a big fan of a guy called Link Lauren. He's been on Outspoken before, actually. He was a former advisor to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. during his presidential campaign. But he absolutely knows the modern use of websites and social apps like TikTok. And his take, I thought, was not only very, very brutally smart, but also funny.
Right down to the lighting, timing and music cues. It's being compared more to a Hollywood drama than a genuine documentary. The question is, was it ever meant to be real? By the way, if you're tired of the media fluff and want real talk on royal stories, hit that subscribe button now. We dig where others won't.
See the real Meghan Markle reality show. That would be gangbusters. The ratings would be through the roof. I want to see her chasing Harry around with those scrawny legs in the mansion after he left the toilet seat up. I want to see her screaming at an We've all heard the stories for years about her alleged bullying of palace staff. I want to see Meghan Markle scream at one of her assistants and throw a cell phone when she has a minor inconvenience. That's the show I want to see. I don't want to see some ex-duchess, some duchess of Scamelot walking around a rented mansion with diamonds and jewels and bracelets and Hermes sweaters on, baking donuts. Now, you guys know I give credit where credit is due, and Meghan Markle, she looks good. She looks refined. She looks like she got a little drive-by lunchtime tune-up, a little nip-tuck.
And there was more.
One thing I'll also say is you can tell Meghan Markle has staff. I would bet almost anything that she has a full staff at her house. She has nannies, she has butlers, she has chefs, she has assistants, because nobody has time to do any of this stuff. Something else that felt incredibly inauthentic to me is that when I get together with my friends, my real friends, we do not talk like this. We're not like, oh, let's have joy and peace in our lives. Let's go sit over here and eat crumpets and scones. No, when I get together with my friends, we're getting down and dirty into what's going on in each other's lives. The last thing I'll say for now is what a fall from grace for Meghan Markle. She was British royalty. She bagged the most eligible bachelor on earth, the ginger bachelor, Prince Harry. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle went from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to the Duke and Duchess of White Castle. Okay, that is a fall from grace. She left the royal family to make candles in a rented kitchen. I've never seen someone fumble the bag so hard. I've said it before. She was a briefcase girl on Deal or No Deal. You think she'd be better at handling the bag, but she fumbled it. And she said in the show, I believe in the first episode, I want to do The Amazing Race. I'd love to be on The Amazing Race. Meghan, I thought we weren't supposed to talk about race.
Very good.
Very good.
Lauren. And actually, Angela, we haven't spoken about how she mentioned The Amazing Race and wanting to be a contestant. I think it very much does show her head's sort of still in showbiz, right? She keeps talking about elevation. She's obviously given up on trying to save the world at all, but really she just views herself as someone who wants to get on TV however possible.
Yes, I mean, she wants to be adored, I think. All the people who come into her life have to make sure that they think that she is outstanding and that she can do everything and she needs worship. And I think that's what keeps her going. And she won't listen to anything else or accept anything else that's happening, or even saying, well, look, I made a terrible mess of those donuts. Let's try something else. But she actually says, you know, I don't like baking. So what's she doing there with baking? You know, she's very much in the muddle.
She isn't a total muddle. And another thing she's in a muddle on, Angela, is this whole trad wife thing. And this is something, again, that Tina Brown and Janice Min discussed in their podcast interview on Substack. And Janice Min said she tried on a persona, it didn't work. This is very, as the kids would say, trad wife. I was very surprised. And Tina Brown replied saying it was just so unbelievably inauthentic. She's still searching for that thing that makes her authentic. It should have been her sitting there saying, well, someone, for God's sake, get me an effing project. I don't have anything to do. I can't hang on to stuff. I'm at my wit's end. I mean, I would actually have watched that. It would have been really refreshing. But the trad wife thing is interesting, Angela, because of course it's become a movement connected to the Republican Party, to the MAGA movement, to Donald Trump, which is very much against Meghan's politics. So she's trying to say, no, I'm not a trad wife. I'm an influencer. I'm a businesswoman. But this has sparked a lot of debate online.
Angela Levin's takedown may have lit the match, but the public's reaction is the wildfire. Whether you love or hate Meghan, the conversation around what's real and what's manufactured is more relevant than ever. So, drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Angela Levin right, or just bitter? And don't forget to like and share this video if you want to keep the truth trending. Tap the notification bell, because the royal drama never stops, and neither do we.